What's really happening behind the velvet curtain of And Just Like That? Why did some beloved characters disappear without a trace?
It was sad to say goodbye to. It was really sad to say goodbye to that.
And who's making surprise appearance no one saw coming?
The one we got her for was a great
What a
one.
part.
And is the show becoming a little too woke or catching up with the times?
Let's keep what's good and let's widen it and improve it.
We're digging into all the juicy behind-the-scenes secrets from HBO's most talked-about reboot, and some of it might surprise even die-hard fans. The casting shuffle. Season 3 of And Just Like That kicked off with a bang, and a totally different vibe.
It feels like a very big, lush, juicy, wonderfully complicated season.
And let's not forget how hard the cast worked to make it happen. Even before the season aired, insiders were already whispering about the intense filming schedule. Multiple cast members pulled 14-hour days.
I think it was about 6-7 months with no days off.
Oh my
We
gosh.
didn't fall on any federal holidays, so we're just working crazy hours and long days.
Kristin Davis even admitted in an interview, this was the hardest season physically. And just like that, we're switching up the cast again. The creators dropped a few familiar faces, and fans were left wondering, why? First up, Che Diaz.
Back in the 90s when I was first starting out in this industry, I just wanted to be on Sex and the City. So you can imagine how exciting it was when Michael Patrick King offered me the role.
The polarizing character, played by Sarah Ramirez, is officially out. No breakup scene, no closure, not even a final podcast rant. Fans were confused, but behind the scenes, things were messier. Insiders hinted that Sarah Ramirez's controversial social media posts caused some internal discomfort on set. While HBO never confirmed it, word is the writers quietly reworked scripts mid-season to phase Che out completely. Also quietly exiting, Karen Pittman, or the sharp and stylish Professor Nia Wallace. The official reason? Scheduling conflicts. But let's be honest, fans saw it coming. Her screen time in Season 2 had already dropped off, confirming what many insiders suspected. She just wasn't built to be a long-term part of the story. But don't worry, the show didn't leave us hanging for long. Who has joined the cast this time? The one and only Rosie O'Donnell.
She wore a wig to the table read.
Really?
Remember that?
Method.
Yep, the veteran comedian and scene stealer extraordinaire stepped right into the AJLT universe.
She's so open and she likes the show. And we really wanted Rosie because I think she's a wonderful actor.
O'Donnell's character Mary, a dry-witted writer, turned out to be the surprise standout of the season. And many are calling her addition the best thing to happen to the reboot.
I luckily play Cynthia Nixon's love interest, and we've been friends for many, many years. And it's easy to act like I'm in love with her because she's one of the most magnificent women I know.
And she was so centered and wonderful.
Yes,
you know?
she was.
So real and tender and hopeful, and I mean, she was just amazing.
So what's the plan moving forward? Simple, refresh and refocus. New storylines, new characters, new dynamics, and a lot of new for Carrie.
She's writing fiction for the first time in her career. There's just a lot.
After almost 27 years, she's even changing her iconic New York City apartment.
I think leaving that set had very little to do with story and far more to do with memories that were my own.
And that something new also includes Aiden. Yep, he's back. John Corbett has returned to the role, and fans couldn't be happier. But this time, their romance isn't as simple as let's move in together tomorrow. In Season 2, Aiden asks Carrie to wait 5 whole years until his kids finish high school before they take the next step.
I'm so thrilled they've found a way back to each other. But, we'll see. Not all plants can grow in New York City.
Showrunner Michael Patrick King says this season is all about exploring the past, present, and future of Carrie and Aiden's relationship. So, the big question is, will Carrie wait? And can they really make it work this time?
What I love is the debate. And in the writing room, we were constantly going, his side, her side, his side, her side. We were right. So hopefully you're a little bit as torn as Carrie is through the entire thing.
Oh, and whose side are you on? Or are you still Team Mr. Big? The big twist. If And Just Like That wanted to make a huge impact right from the start, they definitely succeeded. And it wasn't a gentle one. The show shocked everyone when John James Preston, better known as Mr. Big, suddenly died of a heart attack right after an intense Peloton workout. And just recently, Sarah Jessica Parker opened up about that moment for the very first time.
Big dying was really, really hard to do, both professionally and personally, because it really meant the end of that.
For longtime fans, it was a brutal goodbye to Carrie's so-called forever love, the man she chased across cities, seasons, and sample sales. Some viewers were heartbroken, others totally frustrated. Because let's be honest, if Big and Carrie weren't endgame, then what was the point of the last 20 years?
I agree, all of it was a mess, and all of it was wonderful, and it was romantic, and it was a disaster, and it was destructive, and it was healthy, and it's hard to just say goodbye to that.
But things got even more complicated off-screen. Just weeks after the episode aired, multiple women accused actor Chris Noth of sexual assault. He denied the allegations, but the timing couldn't have been worse. The showrunners reacted quickly, cutting ties and scrapping all of his future appearances. And these weren't small parts. One cut scene was a magical fantasy sequence where Carrie imagines seeing Big again in Paris. Another one was connected to a wedding scene. Due to all this, many fans noticed Carrie's story in season 1 felt a little off, like something big was missing. Because, well, it was. And while Carrie was trying to find herself again without her main man, the show itself was also going through some serious soul-searching. Woke or working it out? When and Just Like That premiered, it came with an ambitious mission: to modernize the Sex and the City universe for a new era, one where conversations about race, gender, and identity can't be avoided.
How we talk about sexuality and women and whatnot back then, right? Well, now we're in a different time with a lot of other issues going on.
It was always very white. And that was something that was never sat really well with any of us.
From the jump, the show tried to course correct. Miranda left behind her high-powered legal career to study human rights and explore her sexuality.
So much more of me is in there than there used to be.
Carrie shifted from witty columns to hosting a socially aware podcast, where terms like privilege and fluidity were on the table. And Charlotte? She faced a steep learning curve as she navigated parenting a non-binary child. The intention was clear. The show wanted to mirror the real-world conversations people are having today.
We feel very strongly that women's lives don't end at a certain age.
But the reaction? Let's just say it's been mixed. Some viewers appreciated the effort to reflect modern realities. Others felt the show was trying a bit too hard, with storylines that didn't always land naturally. Several IMDb reviewers even called certain plots ham-fisted, and some criticized the show for veering into what they saw as forced wokeness. Whether AJLT is making genuine progress or just checking boxes, one thing's for sure: it's sparking the very conversations it set out to have. And even the tiniest details on the show are grabbing major attention, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. The looks that speak. If Sex and the City taught us anything, it's that fashion isn't just part of the show, it is the show. And Just Like That is definitely keeping that legacy alive.
There was a piece, I think it was over 15 women from Colombia made this piece.
Take that bag from season 2, for example. Yep, the J.W. Anderson pigeon clutch. That quirky, sculptural purse that went viral the moment Carrie Bradshaw got her hands on it. Costume designer Molly Rogers knew she had a winner when she spotted a friend carrying it in Italy. Her exact thought: that's such a Carrie moment. And she was absolutely right. But Rogers didn't stop there. She even brought back the wedding dress with the bluebird headpiece from the first movie. Yeah, the same one Carrie wore when Big left her at the altar back in 2008. This season, they're pulling iconic pieces straight from Carrie's closet again, like her legendary Manolo Blahnik heels and that classic Fendi baguette bag. It's not just about nostalgia. Reusing and restyling outfits, that's actually a big trend right now. And here's another wardrobe story that made some serious headlines. After the season 3 trailer dropped, viewers couldn't help but notice a color-blocked shirt Cynthia Nixon was wearing. Lots of people said it looked a lot like the Palestinian flag. You can guess what happened next. The internet exploded with debate. The star got some backlash because the flag's leadership has a history of opposing LGBTQ+ rights. Caught in the middle of the storm, Cynthia's team quickly stepped in to clear things up. They said the resemblance was totally accidental. The shirt was provided to Cynthia at a marketing shoot by the series' wardrobe department. Fashion fans did some digging and found out the shirt was actually a Calvin Klein design. And guess who else wore it? Cate Blanchett, back in 2018. So, no hidden messages, just a stylish shirt with a tricky pattern. But still, it's wild how one outfit can spark debates bigger than some of the show's plotlines. Carrie's unpolished truth. Ever notice that Carrie Bradshaw almost never rocks a fresh manicure? That's not a random oversight, it's totally on purpose. Parker revealed that as a writer, especially one who started out on a typewriter, manicures just didn't make sense. Painted nails would chip constantly and slow her down creatively. Even the showrunner Michael Patrick King backed her up, saying that every single detail of Carrie's look is intentional. It's all about keeping it real. From a filming perspective, matching nail color across scenes shot weeks apart would be a continuity nightmare. Interestingly, the actress herself rarely wears nail polish in real life. She's always using her hands for cooking and cleaning. But sharp-eyed fans spotted one exception: dark nails in season 2, during Carrie's Brooklyn phase. Why the switch? Parker said it just felt right for that moment. Moody, edgy, and totally matching the vibe and wardrobe. And here's a behind-the-scenes truth bomb. Playing Carrie wasn't always an automatic yes for stylish Sarah Jessica Parker.
The idea of actually doing a television series, I all of a sudden developed an allergy because I thought it was really limiting because in that particular period of time in television, it was asking much more of an actor.
But does she regret anything? The answer couldn't be more obvious.
It's been, the privilege of a professional life for
Stepping out of the spotlight for a moment, let's dive into some lesser-known facts. The surprising passions of your favorite stars. Hidden talents. Turns out, these women are just as layered in real life as their characters on screen. Let's start with Kristin Davis, sweet Charlotte by day, undercover skincare chemist by night.
Kristin is basically a physician. That might surprise some people.
I'm like a pharmacy.
The crew even calls her their in-house pharmacist because she's obsessed with different ingredients. From hyaluronic acid to retinol breakdowns, Kristin totally nerds out on skincare like it's her second job.
She knows an enormous amount about products and science.
I'm one of those kids, people who's allergic to everything, right? So I study ingredients. I'm one of those. So everyone, you're on set, you have all the products, all the makeup, all the stuff. So everyone's like, what do you use? What do you like? Blah, blah, blah. So we're always like, let's study this. Which thing has the good ingredients?
And here's a fun tidbit about Cynthia Nixon. She's the queen of staying hydrated with style.
Cynthia loves liquids.
And we're not just talking water or basic coffee. She's got something more original in her cup.
I carry around an enormous water bottle, which is always full from home with mint and lemon. But the other thing is I carry around a pretty big, very strong green tea. So I'm just trying to balance them out.
Co-stars joke she's like a liquid artist, experimenting with blends and flavors like it's second nature.
She always has many containers of very interesting, all legal, non-alcoholic liquids on the set at all times. She's the most hydrated person that I know.
And speaking of signature flavors, let's talk about the one that was noticeably missing from the original recipe, Samantha Jones. A 1-minute masterclass. From the moment the reboot was announced, fans were already side-eyeing the first cast photo. No Samantha, no party.
I think that Kim has made it really clear that she's done, and we've heard her. And
her absence sparked everything from think pieces to meme wars. So what really went down? The official storyline gave us a clean little breakup. Samantha had moved to London after a falling out with Carrie. But behind the scenes, way messier. Kim Cattrall was very public about her decision not to return. She'd said goodbye to Samantha years ago, citing personal and professional tensions with the cast, and particularly with Sarah Jessica Parker. And just when fans had given up hope, Season 2 ended with a twist. One glorious, fabulous phone call from the Queen of Quips herself.
I was going to surprise you.
Michael Patrick King called Samantha's return for that brief scene magical, jokingly adding,
If showrunning was the Olympics, I would have won the decathlon for that.
But Kim didn't just show up and say her line. She came with conditions, bringing back Patricia Field, the legendary costume designer from the original Sex and the City.
I just thought, if I'm going to come back, I got to come back with that kind of Samantha style.
Yeah.
I got to push it.
Yeah.
And we did.
And let's be real, she absolutely did. 1 minute of screen time, and it was peak Samantha.
I was really excited about the idea. I thought it was a really good idea, and I was thrilled that, we could make it happen and that it worked for her.
But here's the real kicker. She filmed the scene completely solo. No cast, no awkward reunions, just Kim, her glam squad, a car set, and that signature Samantha sass.
Felt like dipping my toe, back in time and having a wonderful afternoon and then a great martini.
Her absence still continues to be a topic of discussion among fans, but the show moves on with its core cast and fresh new faces. So, what is it that keeps us coming back, season after season, headline after headline? Maybe it's the thrill of seeing familiar faces evolve, the hope for resolution, or a fairy tale ending that may never come. Or maybe it's something simpler, the deeply human need to witness those who remind us of ourselves.
It was a very fun season in lots of ways. There are big stories to tell, and I think we all were part of really big, fun, interesting, surprising stories.
Whether you love to hate it or hate to love it, one thing's for sure. This story, their story, still matters.
I mean, when does life ever become unexpected? Never.
Or finished.
Right. So I think we could go on as long as we want.
Now, we want to hear from you. What behind-the-scenes secret surprised you the most? Are you a Carrie, a Miranda, a Charlotte, or maybe even a little bit of Seema? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. And don't forget to share this with your fellow AJLT-obsessed friends.